Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech Talks with Manju. Yesterday we have seen that how the local server can run the AI models on the Ollama. So yesterday we have discussed we're gonna talk about the Microsoft Foundry today, and we are here to look at that particular tool and how powerful it is to create an agent and how is it going to work, and it will be having a lot of advanced methods that it can be utilized for building up multiple agents. And we have a very latest agent update from the Microsoft. So we'll look at that also by end of this particular discussion. So this is how the new agentic AI can be built with the Foundry. Okay, so this is a particular project which I have created, and inside that I will be able to create the agents, I'll be able to explore the playground, and I'll be able to find the multiple models. Okay, so we will come back to this agent creation later. First, we'll explore the playground. So playground is one overview where you can just try to deploy a few of the you know models and then try to check how this is going to react, how this is going to get utilized, how this is going to respond to your queries and the other things. Okay, so likewise on the playground, basically you will try to explore more what can be done, what can be explored, what can be utilized with the multiple AI models, what could be the output for your testing purposes. Okay, so from here, we will be able to, go to the find models. So basically, we have lot many models which are available. Yesterday, we were talking about the Claude Opus. Okay, and we do have not only Opus, we have Sonnet, we have the other model also here. But I would like to just explain one of the model we are not gonna install because it's gonna charge us. I'll explain how much it's gonna charge and what are the compliance thing which we have to maintain when we are trying to utilize any of the models. I'll explain that. Okay. So first I'll click on this particular model. So it'll have all the detailings, what is the capability of this and how it will be utilized and how to basically understand how this gonna work. Okay, all those details will be available on the detailing part here. Okay, now it is very important for us to understand the finance aspect of the model. Okay, so here the context here is 1 million inputs and 128K outputs will be there. Inputs for 1 million and outputs will be there for 128K. So when we are looking at the pricing model, so the pricing would basically uh, vary. That's what even Claude particular companies say us. We do not have any kind of a fixed token exchange limitations right now, but then whatever it has been described from the Claude here will be available in the billing section. Okay, so they are saying that we do not have a fixed cost for per month. Okay, so basically, if for example, if you're running a virtual machine on Azure, you have to pay for the disks irrespective of whether the virtual machine is on or off, right? So likewise, there is no fixed cost per month, but it will basically charge you depends on your usage. Okay, so there are pay as you go a model with cash or with a long text, uh, all those details are there. We'll look at one by one. So here we have a pay as you go, a long text cash write token. So basically it will charge you 6.25 per million token. In the previous videos, we have already seen how this is going to work on the cloud in the different models the same way that has been given here. So it's the same cost which was originally announced by Claude. Okay, so $5 per input, and writing a particular cache would cost you 1.25 extra dollars. So that's what it is being given. Okay, so and they have something called cache text for 1 hour tokens. Okay, so it's gonna cost you 10 dollars per million tokens. Okay, so again, when it is retrieving a specific tokens now without any cash, as we have discussed, it's a $5 per million tokens, and while it is retrieving, it will cost you a respective amount of whatever it is described by the plan here. Okay, the major difference here is when you utilize a cache for a particular 5 minutes to 1 hour, whatever your window will be there, depends on that, it's gonna cost you. So basically, when you have a follow-up questions and you are opting for the 1 hour cache, then the charges will be reduced uh, according to the queries that you're going to put in. Since it is not directly going to the cloud, instead of that, it is using the cache memory for you to get the response from the model. Okay. So all those details, however, we have discussed on the first video, the same kind of a model will be provided here. Okay. So those things are there. Especially, you will have to monitor what is the input, what is the output responses for those things. Okay, so that's very, very important for us to monitor and understand how this will be charged. Okay, so likewise, it will be charged according to the input and output separately when we are working on this. Okay, so this is one thing that we should understand how the costing gonna be when we are using the models. Okay, so if we have any deployed agents are running on this, so it will show you here. And when you're trying to utilize this, there are benchmarks that has been given from the author itself. Okay, so agentic code, when they have tested, this resulted in 64.2 percentage. And so likewise, they have done multiple testing, and these are all the results which are being provided from the author or the owner. Okay, so and these are all the particular responsible AI, conditions, how it's going to work, what will be generated, what will be not generated, all those things will be there. And the licensing part, there'll be a documentation also which will be provided for you to understand the licensing part. So any model that we want to opt under the Microsoft Foundry, we have to go to model and search it, and we have to deploy by accepting the pricing details. Okay, so the very important thing when we are using the cloud, that is the context, what is the input context and what is the output context charges which will be applicable for you. Okay, so this is important. When we are talking about this, we could use multiple things, and I'll just show you previous experiments which we have already done. So this is one thing which I have used long back when we were exploring something. There is a GPT-4 mini which I wanted to use for audio purpose and creating some of the files out of it. So it successfully provided me the results there, but it is disabled right now, which it is not being utilized. Okay, so you can use that. Also, if you see here, y- you will be able to create an agent. Okay, I will show you how to create an agent, and how beautifully it will be created automatically when we try to create an agent in the uh, particular 10 to 15 minutes. But this is one of the view that we can have if we have any of the agents that are running right now under the Foundry under your project. We will be able to see here. Okay, and we can even fine tune. We can even basically use the tools and knowledge and the data, and evaluation also can be done with the guardrails. Okay, guardrails are very important for us to understand. It will control these particular controlling section for your agents to run. Okay, so this is all about the overview of our particular Foundry element. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create some of the agentic AIs. Okay, responses. When we create an agent, we should have a goal. Okay, we should have a particular framework. And with that framework and the goal, we will be able to create an agent. Okay. So to do that, I am taking in help of online visual code. Okay. And I am trying to create a meeting prep AI agent with the help of these things. Okay. So now when I'm trying to do this, I am trying to take and help. Okay. So it will give me all the detailings and it will be able to help me to create an agent. Okay. So here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a meeting prep agent. So here it will connect with the MCP server and it will try to connect with my resources. Okay. So in this online visual code, I have a workspace here, which is uh, required to set up an environment. This environment variable will have my all the API keys and my particular what do we say the endpoints for the uh, Foundry. Okay, so whenever you create a project under that, it will create an endpoint for you. What one is project endpoint, another one is for open AI endpoint. With that, it will be giving you API key that you will have to set up under your Visual Code or a project, whatever you are trying to connect. Okay. Once you have been set up, we can utilize this particular code to create an agent. So this will help us to directly create an agent uh, with the help of the particularly given details. Okay, so now it is working with this and I just want to go ahead and create this, and it will take a bit of a time for me to get the agent and it will be ready. Okay, so let it work and let it take its own sweet time. We will come back to this later. Okay, so here when we were talking about creating an agent and maintaining an agent, so I can just create here. Okay, the agent number name would be, I can just call it as, okay, so it can be any name which you wanted to create. So it is trying to deploy it here, and I will just show you a basic agent how it would be working. So it will take a minute or so. Meanwhile, we are okay, so it created that specific thing. So it gonna ask you. So basically, the model which we are using is a GPT Mini right now, and it will ask what kind of a meeting agent that you want. Okay, so I want to list all the meetings in a day and schedule details. Okay, now it started working on that, and it's gonna ask you a few questions to particularly optimize this, and I should be able to get the agent out of it. Okay, so could you please specify which days of a meeting that you want to list? Okay, so I can just say weekdays. So now it's gonna go with all the question and answer sessions, and you should be able to give all the responses. After that, you will be able to see an agent from this. Okay, and you can trace that agent, whatever you have created, you can trace that how it is being collected and what it is doing. All those things are already there. Okay, so we have these IDs here, and what are the status and responses that has been provided by this agent and how it is working right now. We can do that under the trace. Okay, so now we can even monitor the specific, uh, the performance of the agent. Especially, it will show you some of the graphs here, matrix here, when the agent is being utilized in a day. Okay, so those things are there. So that's how we can create and manage the agent here. Now, we have spoken about the agents on a very high level. Okay. Now, the problem which we were facing before is the data which is leaving the particular boundary of the foundry. Okay. So, like a best example would have been a Claude, which if we give the data to the agent, it will go and reach the Claude servers rather than being under the foundry itself. Okay. Now, the major problem here is the agents. When a single agent being worked on queries with the multiple users. For example, there's only one agent, and in the company there are multiple users. For example, me and my colleagues are using the same agent for fetching up the meetings. So, agent will have that unique uh, infrastructure which will be responding to both of the users, and this might be a risk in the future for the bigger organization. Okay, and when the agents are running on the foundry and the other organization people, if they will be accessing the same infrastructure, then that would have been challenging for the agents to maintain that particular boundary. To resolve that, we have a great update from Microsoft. Now they can have a specific Foundry agent service which manages the security, scalability, compute, build agents, everything whatever we want under this. So what exactly the update here is? We have a, new agentic, uh, you know, Foundry agent service which creates a separate micro agent infrastructure, which means if there are two users, the two users will be divided into micro service agents infrastructure in the backend. So when there are multiple users that they are trying to access kind of a same agent, they have their dedicated dev agentic infrastructure for them to handle it. So it creates an isolation, okay, and it is a cold start, and there will be no ideal costs, which will be there, which is very much helpful for the organization. They will cut down major of your particular uh, bills when it is idle, okay, and the scalability and multiple things will be taken care by this infrastructure or the foundry itself. You don't have to really worry about that, and it is persistent, and it basically uh, you know integrated with your project, and also you can integrate with your Intra ID. Okay. The very important thing is you can bring your own framework and make it work on the Foundry. So this is also very, very important, update. Okay. So after this, we have many more things to discuss about this. I'll be creating a separate video on this, but uh, to start with, this has a great start. A few days before we have discussed, we have to have a dedicated server which can be working as an offline to make your AI work. With this solution, that even challenge will be ended because each agent will have its own dedicated infrastructure in the backend. That gonna solve major of the problems, but uh, it might be again in the backend how Foundry can utilize multiple frameworks and how it gonna respond to the multiple performance things and issues and the other things. We'll be able to see that in the future. But as of now, we have a great announcement from the Microsoft. We'll see through these things later. I'll just see whether it has created or not. So it is still having a problem with connecting to the MCP server, as this is an online one. The offline would have been created an agent easily. Okay. So as I've already shown you. So we will just, we will have a dedicated video how to create an agent, and I'll be able to show you the response for those as agents. Okay. To summarize, what we have seen is how a Microsoft Foundry can be used to create an agents, use multiple models, how a multiple models will be charging to utilize those model structure, and how online Visual Code can be used for your workspaces, and how we can, I mean, what is the newest update from the Microsoft that we have received it for the Dev Foundry agents, dedicated agents for using the or creating or building the separate agents with any of the framework which we want. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do comment whatever you feel about this particular video. You can feel free to put the questions and you can start the conversations, and you can reach me out on LinkedIn if you want. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Have a great day ahead.